Hi everyone. This is a bit of a random video. This is going to be the first Valorant video I'm pretty sure I'm going to post on my channel. But I came up with a cool idea today. And so I saw this tweet by Sideshow. And he said that he's come up with his top 21 draft for Masters Reykjavik, which is coming up in a week. And you know, the plat chat top 20 players of the Masters event, of Champions or whatever. Very hyped, you know, for every player, for every person that there is watching the Masters event, there's an extra 2 people who are excited about Plat Chat's top 20 players. So this got me thinking. So this is just a draft. This isn't official. He hasn't come up with a list yet because the Plat Chat episode hasn't come out yet. But he dropped a lot of hints. He said that there's 7 primary duelists, 6 flex players, 3 smokes, 3 initiators, 2 sentinels, 4 IGLs on the list, 1 entire roster, and then he also listed the nationalities of the players. So, just for a little fun, I wanted to turn this into a game and see if I can end up predicting who the 21 players that Sideshow put on the list, or at least the 20 players that he will put on the list that will come out tomorrow. So, first of all, let's just write all this down. So, let's move this out of the way. Let's just write down the roles. So we have 7 duelists. I'm going to write it in the form of this. Duelist 7, flex 6, smoke 3, initiator 3, and sentinel 2. And he also listed 4 IGLs, so I'm just going to write that down as well. IGL 4, 1 entire roster, and then we can also have their nationalities. So we'll write that down as well. I won't do that. So let's write down the nationalities. So he said 6 NA. I feel like that's a lot, but so NA 6, Brazil / Latam, also 6, EMEA 5. I thought Sideshow would have a lot more EMEA, and then we've got APAC / Korea / Japan at 4. So I wanted to just basically predict who are the players that are going to be on the list. So first we'll write this down. So we've got the duelist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The flex the flex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The smokes 1, 2, 3. The initiators 1, 2, 3. And the sentinel. That seems like a low number of sentinels, but we'll see. So my first approach is that first I want to have a look here. I saw 1 entire roster, and 1 entire roster means that 5 players have to come out from 1 single region. So obviously that entire roster can't be from APAC. I mean, it basically can't be from EMEA either, because if you have like the whole of Fnatic or the whole of G2, you're missing out either Durka or Nuka, whichever one you don't take. So it can't be EMEA. If it's NA, I doubt it's NA, because let's just take the entire guard roster. Obviously 5 talented players. That means you're missing out on both Ye and Victor, who, I mean, I don't think it's a stretch to say that they both should be on this list. And then same if you say for Envy, if you take all 5 players, you're missing out on Trent and Sire, or even Jonas. So I don't think it's NA, and it makes a lot of sense if it's Brazil, because of 1 roster that goes by the name of Loud. So I think we can safely assume that there are going to be all 5 players from Loud are going to be on that team. So we can delete this, and we can just say, write out the 5 Loud players. So there's Espus, Pancada, Sosi. I'm blanking. What the hell? Espus, Pancada, Sosi, I'm just going to pull up the roster because I forgot. Sadek and less, yeah. Sadek and less. Okay, so we got 4 players, and I think we can safely assume that these all players are going to be confirmed on the roster. So we can drop this number from 6 to 1. So we need it for 1 Latin player. And so that Latin player, I mean, you could say it's Nip. I mean, I think you're pretty crazy if you think it's from Nip. I think it's obviously going to be from Crew. And I think there were 2 people who kind of stood out to me. When I was thinking about this, I think it could have been Dalzik or Kisnet. I thought both of them, these players, would have been on the list. But since there can only be 1 player, I think it's pretty obvious that it's Dalzik that's on the list. Like, I mean, not Dalzik, Nexit, Kisnet. Even though he got his ban, he played it insane in the finals, right? Yeah. Also, one thing I'm curious about is if they're going to keep on playing Phoenix and Haven at these events. Like, I'm sure Phoenix was good on the map, but you know, I think more people just always leading towards like KO as their flex. So I think it's pretty safe to assume we're gonna have Kisnet there as well. So those are going to be all of our Brazil/Latin players. So now let's focus on EMEA. So 2 players that are obviously going to be on the list, most likely in number 1 and 2, are Nukier and Durka. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. Now is when it gets a little bit shaky when it comes. So there's only 3 more players remaining from EMEA. And obviously these are just my shots in the dark, but I think Hoodie could be a good option. Mystic, Boaster, Mixwell. I probably wouldn't put Avova and Meadow. I don't think they're top 20 players. I think they're both good. Let's just write them down. Avova and Meadow. And I think actually Bravef probably would have been on this list if he actually ended up going. But the fact that he's not going, obviously, it's a bit of a shame. He's a really pivotal player to them. And plays important, you know, even though he plays flex, it's like, I'm not flex. You know, he just kind of always fills that role, that gap that Fnatic needed. And I don't think Fnatic will crumble without him, but he can just like take over maps in ways that you don't expect, which I always appreciate that about Brave. I think he definitely would have been on the list. And so yeah, so those are the EMEA players. So we're looking for 3. So we can go to NA and we think who should be on the list. So I think first, obviously, we just got to focus on Yay Victor. Obviously, these are the star duo of Envy and Trent, and I think these players are most definitely on the list. So we'll knock this down to 3. And I'm going to go Sire. I'll put a question mark there because I'm not too sure. Jonah, I think, is also really good. We'll put a question mark. Valen. I don't think Nick's going to be on the list personally, but we'll see. Especially with only 2 Sentinels on the list, I don't think Nick's going to be on the list. And then for Envy, we'll put Crashies and Marved. Sorry, Finesse. Oh, we'll put you on the list, Finesse, sorry. Just in case, but I doubt it. So these are NA players. And APAC, Korea, Japan. So this is I think the one that we're going to struggle with a lot. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, APAC, Korea, Japan. So I was thinking, what players from this region are there? So I think obviously the obvious player is RB. I think especially if you take these regions, no doubt in my mind, RB should be on this list. And then I think everyone else is a question mark. For example, Buzz. Buzz has been a really good Sentinel player. And I think this new chamber role fits him really well with this kind of low resource AWPer. Because he's a really good jet. But I think he works much better in this role where he doesn't take as much resources up. And RB can do more of the fragging. And you have this like 1-2 combo, which I really like. I also thought of Mako. I think Mako's super underrated. Not many people talk about Mako, which I'm a little bit sad about. He can frag out heaps sometimes. So this mic's... Okay, so then we look at APAC now. So they've got two teams. So for APAC, I think Forsaken, for sure. He's definitely been the top performer in APAC. Honestly, I think Forsaken should be on there, but we'll see. A person that is so underrated is Scary. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Scary. I'm going to pronounce it Scary. But he does so much for this team. I think he's actually so good. Let me find the playoffs game. The finals, it was wasn't it close? Yeah, it was 3-2. And look at this performance from both Forsaken and Scary. It's crazy. And Scary was doing this throughout the whole tournament. Not necessarily carrying, but he was up there. He was always at the top. He's never the reason they're losing, always the reason they're winning. It's crazy. And Japan, I'll be honest, I don't know Japan as a region. I'm gonna say it. So we'll just leave a little Japan there in case. So now we have to fill these roles. Oh, yeah. Okay, so first we'll fill in the non-question marks. So we've got Aspis on Duelist, Pancada on Smokes, Sassy on Initiator, Sussy. It's not Sassy, is it Sussy? Like Sassy, but not Sussy. Sadak on Flex, Sadak. Thank goodness I'm not a cast, I'd be butchering these names. Less on Sentinel, and... Wait, did I miss one? Sadak, Sassy, Pancada. Oh no, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can also get Kisnet on Duelist. Okay. Bam, done. We'll get Nuke. Okay, I'm so confused as to what Nuke's role is. Durke, obviously Duelist, we can put that there. But I want to Google Nuke. What role does he play? Because I classify him as Flex, right? I personally think he's a Flex player. But he is counted as Duelist. And this is where I was a bit confused. Because if you look at Nuki's game history, it's basically it's just going to be Sova and Raze. Yeah, Sova and Raze. But I'm so torn as to what to do. Because when you look at G2, if we try and classify G2 into roles, you can say, okay, we'll do the obvious. Mido Sentinel, Avova Smokes, Hoodie Flex. These all make sense. Then you have these two. You have Mixwell and you have Nuki. Mixwell, he's playing mostly Chamber, but he's not on the Sentinel role because Mido is on the Sentinel role. And Nuku, he plays Raze, which basically you're either a Duelist or you're a Flex if you play Raze, but he's also playing Sova on all these maps. So I don't know what to classify Nuke as, because he can count as a Duelist, he can count as a Flex, and he can count as a Initiator. So I don't know what to list him as. So we'll leave him till last because I don't know where to put him. Personally, I'm going to put him as Flex, but you can agree or disagree with me in the comments. Okay, so next we have Yay Victor Trent. So we'll fill these in. So Yay Duelist, Victor Flex, and Trent Initiator. So we only got one initiator left. And then, yeah, we'll leave that out. RB, duelist. And so we'll leave that for the moment. So we can delete all these. Actually, yeah, we'll just delete all these. Just to make things easier for us. Okay, Nuke, I'm gonna put him... I still don't know where to put Nuke. We'll just leave him for now. Where do you classify this guy? What is Hoodie at? Does Hoodie play much Initiator? I mean, he plays some Sky, but he's mostly playing Sage. Like, let's see, Hoodie in this final, he played Sage, which you'd probably say is mostly Flex, Sova, and KO. So it's like... So he played... Because I'll keep... Nuki played Sova twice, then Sova again, and then Raise. I'm so destroyed as to what to think, because I saw the reply and I think, yeah, Fion, he said other 3 initiators, Trent, Sashi, and Crashies, which implies that Nuki doesn't count as a... I want to see, please tell me someone say. Okay, I'm going to put him on the flex. I don't care. I don't care. He's going on the flex. Okay, you're going on the flex. Bye-bye. Because I'm going to say Milk's workouts as duelist, and both Nukia and Hoodie are flex players. Okay, there, boom, done. Don't have to waste another 10 minutes. I'm probably already 20 minutes into this video. So now we need to do 3 MEA, 3 NA, I don't know why I read it off in that order, and 4 APAC, or 3 more APAC because we've done RP. So I'm going to cut off some people that I don't think... Okay, never mind. We're going to do people who I do think. So I think Hoodie is so good right now. He's definitely deserves some respect. Hoodie's definitely on the list. I'd be surprised if Hoodie's not on the list. Mystic as well. I think Mystic is super underrated. He's actually one of the top players right now. And he does a lot of, not the dirty work, but he's definitely someone who doesn't get a lot of credit in Fnatic. I think most of the Fnatic credit goes to Durkee, obviously, and even Boaster. But I think Mystic's someone who's kind of fragging out quietly, you know, silent assassin type thing. Okay, next. Sire. I think it's like Sire once again so underrated. I think it's only now that Guard are actually going to Iceland that people are recognizing that, oh, wait, Sire was a good player this whole time. And yeah, so that means, what do we put on there? I put Sire, Hoodie, I put Sire, Hoodie, and Mystic. Right, so that means we put 2 MEA and 1 NA on the list. So now let's get... Oh, see, this is like really hard. So the last person for EMA could be Boaster, Mixwell, Avova, or Meta. I personally don't think it's Avova Meta. Oh, so it could be... Oh my god, I forgot about Team Liquid. How could I? It could be Nivera or Scream. I don't think it's... Personally, I don't think there's anyone else, but you can say what you want. I honestly, like, maybe is this... I don't know if this is a controversial opinion or not. I think Nivera is the best player on Team Liquid. Maybe it's not by far, but I think he just... His flexibility, he's just like... He's like those... One of those... I have like a special, like a soft spot in my heart for no ego players. And Nivera is a no ego player. I love him so much. So for NA we need 2 more, and this could be the only list. Sorry, FNS, you'll go, and I don't think it's net either. Yeah. So Jonah, Valen, Crashies, and Marved. It's really hard. Oh my god, this is so hard. Because we have one more initiator. So who could be the initiator? It could be Crashies. I think, is it just Crashies? Is it really just Crashies? Wait a second. I think actually it's Crashies. Has to be the initiator. Because I think I would have put Brave Earth, but it has to be Crashies. I don't think there's anyone else on this list that I feel like deserves to be here. But I don't even think Crashies really deserves to be there either. We'll leave that. I want to focus on APAC, because we have still 3 APAC players. Okay, I'm just going to start filling into the spots because I think it's necessary. I think Forsaken goes in here. I think, like, if you're looking at this whole list, I think Forsaken is better than Scream and Mixwell. Okay? I don't know if it's controversial. Forsaken is literally insane. So I'm going to get rid of these 2. And Forsaken as well. And that brings us down to 2. So for smokes, we have 1 more smokes left. It can either be Velen, Marved, Scary, Mako, or Avova. Like, I'm just going to get rid of Avova Meta. I don't think these 2 are going to be on the list. Sorry, lads. Also, there's this thing here. IGLs. Who on this list is IGL so far? Personally, I don't... since we have the whole Loud roster, that counts as 1 IGL. I don't know who IGLs on Loud. Nukia, he IGLs, so that's 2. So maybe we might have to put Valen. I'm just going to put Boaster. Boaster is like cracked. And I know this British guy, this Mr. Egg, has an extremely soft spot for Boaster. Don't we all? So I think Boaster's going to be on the list. And that's actually our last EMEA player, which makes sense, to be honest. I think the only other person I'd consider putting would be Navera in the Sentinel role. But I don't think Navera is a top 2 Sentinel in the world. I honestly think they might go to Buzz. Oh. Sentinels are actually looking quite weak. I think this actually might go to Buzz. So that would be Buzz. Navera would be gone, which would bring that down to 1. So now we have 3 spots to fill. 1 Flex, 1 Initiator, 1 Smokes, 2 NAs, 2 NAs, and 1 APAC. Okay, so if we're looking at Flex, Jonah can be on any Flex. Okay, I kind of agree with that. I think Jonah's a really good player. I think he's towards the bottom. He's someone who isn't as appreciated on guard, but he does a lot. He's generally really flexible and puts out good numbers as well. Like, he's like a really good Sage. I think that's like his specialty. And having like a fragging Sage, that's like what you want. I think Jonah fits that role great, amazingly. So 1 NA or 1 APAC. So we have a Flex. Oh no, a Smokes and Initiator. So Initiators can literally only be Crashes. I don't know anything about Japan. I don't know if I'm missing out about some secret person in Japan. So Smokes. Honestly, this might be controversial. I'm going to put Scary on Smokes. I think Scary is actually really good and is actually performing probably better than probably both Mako and Marved. Like, I think I had Marved in my top 20 going into champions, and I thought he was like really underrated. But I'm not gonna put Marv on there. Marv is like a great frag, but like scary is like he's looking scary. Okay, so that would be my APEC pick, and that would make sense because I think scary is better than Maker, and that would mean Valorant. Oh my god, is it? But I don't know who my initiator would be. It would have to be Crashies. I mean, that makes sense. Crashies, I think he's playing alright, but I didn't think he would be top 21 potential. And the IGLs, I don't know about the IG. I don't know how you find out details about IGLs. Like, I know there's Boaster, he IGLs, Nuke, he IGLs. It's FNS, he IGLs. But like, how do you find out information about who IGLs on like other teams? Like, if I search up Loud, it doesn't tell me who IGLs. But if I search up Fnatic, it tells me, it's going to say that, yeah, Boaster, he's the IGL team captain. I'm very confused right now. Okay, so I think this is a good list. I think a lot of this makes sense. Obviously, maybe I'm completely missing someone right now because I don't know anything about Japan. But I think this is actually a really good list. With that being said, we have to rank the top 21 players. And that being said, we have to kick one of these players off the list because it's a because it's going to be a top 20 list, not top 21. So I'm wondering who's going to kick off. Mr. Egg. Okay, let's get down to business. We'll start at the top. We'll start at the bottom. I think that's pretty obvious. Kappa. Okay. Even though it's I think for me, I personally think Nuke is number one in my heart. Even though it's extremely close. I think after what happened last year, there's no doubt in my mind that Sideshow puts Dirk in number one. Also, I'm pretty sure he made a tweet responding to Fion saying that he thinks Dirk is going to be MVP. Like, he's 90% sure. So we'll put this here, and we'll get rid of these two. Okay. Who do I think number 3? I think it could go to Espis. I think you just go Espis. Espis, Hoodie, Mystic, Sussy. I think Espis. I think we go Espis into Hoodie. First I'm going to do like my own list and then I'll kind of think about it after. I think into Trent. I think actually going into Trent's good. Trent into Mystic into is it Sussy? Is it a Sussy angle? Sussy into I want to put Pink Hunter up there as well. But I'll go with probably maybe it's a Yay angle. Yeah, I think it's Yay. Yay. I think then maybe Pankata. Into so maybe this is around where maybe Kisnet goes. Maybe it's Kisnet Sire, Victor. And maybe less as well. So Kisnet. Maybe Kisnet's next. Or was it Sire? Bro, Kisnet and Sire like so good and they're like it's so hard to tell. Who's better? Kisnet, Sire. Who else did I say? Kisnet, Sire, Victor. Oh, I think Victor could be up there. Okay, I'm gonna go Kisnet into Sire. But they can be easily swapped around. Kisnet, Sire, Actually, I'm gonna put Kisnet above Pankata. Oh, now I want to put Sire above Pankata. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Pankata. Actually, I am. Sorry. I love Pankata, but I don't know. I think Sire is so good. Like Sire. Oh my god. As an Overwatch player, this is the first time an Overwatch player has taken a dub in like 2 years. Or maybe in the past 6 months, because we haven't had the league going on for the past 6 months. Sire is so good. They made him change his name and stay on Omen to Spider. That is ridiculous, by the way. Like, is it true that the story was... T1 was like, yo, Sire, no one's gonna like your name. Change it to something cool, like Spider with a Y. That's cool. That's a cool name. Maybe Victor or Les. Okay, I'll go Victor into Les. But I think Les is actually... I don't know what to think about Les. I don't watch much Brazil, but for what I did watch, Les is like really good. He's like always staying alive. He's getting kind of important kills. He's actually putting up decent stats as well. Like, it's hard to put up good stats when you've got Espis, Sasi, and even Pankata in your team, and he still puts up like good damage numbers. So maybe Les deserves a bit more respect, but it's hard. It's hard when you're. It's hard being a player for Loud. So who's next? So we've got Victor, we've done Les. So now who's in this middle section? This is probably, I'm thinking, Forsaken, RB. I like Forsaken and RB here. Or who goes above who? I like... Forsaken or RB? I'm just gonna go RB. I don't know why I'm overthinking it. Who's next? Oh, all the jewelers gone. Wow, big surprise. But I'm thinking, so next I'm thinking like Boaster, Jonah. I think Boaster, Jonah, and Buzz probably for my next. Actually, I want to go Boaster, Forsaken, Jonah. I like that, I like that. Because I also feel like Mr. Egg is going to give a lot of attention to the fact that they're IGLing. Because I think Mr. Egg appreciates a lot of the intangibles that a person brings, like Boaster, being able to really hype up his players. But even though Boaster's good, I don't think he can break, like, maybe above RB, but I don't think above, like, Les or Victor. That just seems a little bit weird to me. So I think this is a good spot for Boaster. So 18, so we have 4 more spots to fill. We have Buzz, Crashies, Scary, and Sadik. Oh, but Sadik's actually really good. But I don't know, this... Maybe we're going to have to name this the Loud Effect or something. There has to be a proper name for this. I think Sadik is, like, actually good, but he doesn't seem as good as he actually is, because he's playing on Loud. He's playing with Espis, Sasi, Pankata, Les, like... I don't know. Maybe I'm underrating. I like Buzz a lot. I'm going to put Buzz there. Okay, I'll put Sadik here. I think Sadik. So now it's just a Crashies and a Scary. Sorry, bro. Sorry, Crashies. I had Crashies like top. I think I'd probably had him like between 5 and 10 going into Champions after Berlin as well, because like I loved Crashies and then he just didn't perform, and then I don't know. This Crashies is like the only pick on this list where I'm like, I mean, you could have gone with someone else. Like, I don't know anything about Japan region. I wish I knew more. Like, I think maybe Crashies could be like towards the list. I think like a Nevera could be considered. I don't know anything about Japan. Also, this IGL thing. Where is it? There was like 4 IGLs. I don't know. I don't know any IGLs. So this is my Mr. X predicted top 21. I think this is really good. Let's just go down the list. So Duke above Nuka makes a lot of sense. Nuka obviously has to be second. Aspers, I think, makes sense as the third. Hoodie, super underrated. I think Trent could reach number 4. Maybe Trent's number 4. Don't care. I'm putting Hoodie number 4. I think Hoodie's better. See Hoodie even better. Let's have a look at the series. Okay, I just looked at one random match. This is like the most stats Andy thing I could have done. Looked at one match and just convinced me to put Hoodie 4. Yeah, Hoodie 4. Yep, I like that. Maybe Sassy above Mystic. I'm just gonna go with Mystic 6 because Mystic is British. So that's a Mr. Egg reason. But I think these are interchangeable. Yay 8. Yeah, I like Yay 8. Kisnet, Sire, yep. Pankata above Victor. Yeah, I think so. Personally, I think some people are overrating Victor a little bit too much. I don't think Victor's a top 10 player. I think he has a lot of impact on the scene, but he's not like a top 10 player. In my opinion. Maybe that's controversial. I don't think it is. Less above RB. I think these two could be maybe swapped, but I like that here. The gap between Boaster, Forsaken's hard to rate because like you look at his stats and you're like, oh my gosh. And then you see him play and you're like, oh my gosh. And then I put him 16, I'm like, I don't know. It's probably better than 16, but yeah, I like him 16. Jonah, yeah, I think Jonah and Buzz could maybe swap. Thinking emoji. Buzz to Jonah. I don't know. Buzz is really good. But so is Jonah. God, I feel like such a moron right now. Maybe Sadek should go above both of them. Nah, Sadek can stay 19. And Scary. I like Scary because I'm almost certain like Mystique's gonna put like usually your number 20 pick is like something not controversial, but usually if you don't have a person that's on your mind, do you go like you just go to someone like, oh, I think Sassy's really good and really underrated, and that's how you start off your list. So Valorant top 20. The champions. I just want to have a look at the list quickly. But this isn't too loud, I don't have my headphones on.
Hello, welcome to Plat Valorant. What episode is it? 68. God, I love the number 68.
It's so close to another number.
It's so close to 67, and yet it's not.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not 67. Yeah. So top 20 players at champions. Scream. I can remember people were Scream number 2. Oh my lord. Kisnet, Tasi, Nivira. Like Nivira. Nivira is kind of this pick where like he just got picked up by Liquid, was looking really good, and you go, man, Liquid, you know. I think Nivira's good. And you just chuck him in there. So like, oh, heat is that low. This is an interesting list looking back on it. Wow. Also, I think I'm underrating Stacks a lot. I think Stacks is really good. Maybe Stacks, oh my god. Maybe that's part of the IGL thing. I think Stacks is on the list. Like... Because Stacks is IGLing for DRX. And the IGLs on this list are Nokia. Whoever IGLs for... I don't know, I'll just say Vanguard, I don't care who IGLs for Loud. And then Boaster, and then I don't know who the last one is. So if I replace it with Stacks, because I want to see what Stacks' stats are. Because, I mean, it makes sense because that means we don't have Crashies, but that means I need a different person from NA instead of Crashies, which would be like Marved, which is instead of Scary, right? Am I overthinking this? I'm overthinking this, aren't I? So how about if I put Stacks here instead of Buzz? So sure, I'm not gonna do it. I don't care. I literally can't think of a proper list. I'm too far deep. Yeah, I like this list. I think this is the list. But I think there's a chance that Stacks is on the list. Because Stacks IGLs. And it would like round up the list perfectly. And then you have like Marved instead of Crashies. No, but you need a Sentinel player from NA. Why can't both Stacks and... That works. Because, wait, Stacks is IGLing for DRX, right? I'm not crazy, am I? Yeah, he is. My god. Okay. Wait, what am I doing? What did I just do? Buzz, Jonah, Sadek, Stacks, Marved. Okay, list done. This is my list. I mean, maybe there's a chance that it's Sassy Crashies, but I like Stacks Marv a lot better, to be honest. Also, one thing that threw me off a lot. This video is probably like an hour long now, so I need to stop rambling on. Was this part for APAC, Korea, Japan, which suggests like it could be like for APAC, which would probably be like you could be like the APAC players Forsaken, the Korea's like Buzz and RB, but Japan, personally I don't think Japan's strong enough of a region to get any recognition right now. Like the finals, I didn't watch all of the finals, but the finals didn't even seem that good. It was what, Crazy Raccoons Zeta versus Crazy Raccoons, and it didn't even seem that good. So I have my hopium prescription is at an all-time low. But yeah, I like this list. I like this last minute change that I made. But I'll do in question mark Sassy, Scary, and Crashies. So we'll see if we're right tomorrow. And maybe he mistakes scratch his whole list and put some other people. Some other honorable mention. I personally think Dalzik should have got on the list. But to be honest, crew is looking a lot weaker, so I understand why not. As for anyone else, maybe a Mixwell, Navera. I think maybe Navera as well. I actually like this list a lot, because a lot of this is my opinion as to who the top 21 are. Just using the details that Sideshow handed out. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. I think comes out in like 6 hours or something, plat chat. So I'm curious if I'm actually right on how many of these, not even the positions, just the players. So yeah, bye. I'm going to try and make more Valorant content. I'm just busy with uni right now. But after 1 week, which is conveniently when... Wait, when's the first match for Reykjavik? Starts on April 11th. That's 3 a.m. It starts 3 a.m. here. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. Why does this one game happen? Wait, there's 3 games happening. Look, 3 games happening on April 11th, and 1 game happening on April 12th. Is that due to Durka being late, possibly? Or maybe not. I thought they'll just have it 2-2. I mean, I'm going to try and co-stream these games, even though it's 3 a.m. Hopefully I can wake up at 6 and catch a couple games, especially on the first. Actually, no, I think I have assignments due. Shit. Oh, I do. My final assignment is due the 14th, or no, the 15th, and then after that I have my 2-week break. So at least I can catch like all of playoffs. Oh, playoffs is double Elam. That's so good. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that it was double Elam. That's so good. Wow. Okay, I'm actually so hyped. It's so sad that there's no mech and there's no FPX, because this event would be like, or no Cloud9. This event would be so crazy stacked, but the teams that got in here deserve to get in here and deserve to win. So yeah, hopefully you guys agree with my list. I want to see how many I get right tomorrow. I think I should get at least 18 of these right. Like, these 18, I don't think any of these should be aren't very, like up to here, I don't think any of these are very controversial. Or Jonah. I think Buzz is potentially controversial, and then obviously 20 and 21 are, I don't know what Sideshow's thinking, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is a super long video. How long was this video? 50 minutes. I suck at talking. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. And please subscribe. Thank you.